Hello, I'm Guy Loveridge and welcome to the brand new for 2022 Classic and Performance Motor Show here in the wonderful South Yorkshire countryside at Wentworth Woodhouse. You can't miss the house behind me. Oodles of history. This is actually the longest frontage of any private residence in the United Kingdom. It's wider than Buckingham Palace. Two houses glued together, dates back to the Jacobean period, obviously extended and added to. We'll tell you more about its history, which is littered with intrigue, scandal, law cases. At one point, they even sued the British government for the mining underneath our feet. Fully 99 acres of coal were taken out from right where we're stood right now. But we're here to look at some wonderful motor cars, talk to some of their owners, see what the flavour of this show's all about. So let's take a look at what's coming up. So, Ian, here at Wentworth with your fantastic TVR. Now, I know you've been a long-term custodian of this machine. Tell us a bit about it and why you're a TVR man.
Fell into it really about 12 years ago and never looked back since. Came from a 67 Plymouth Barracuda, which was every bit a handful as it sounds. But yeah, it's taken me all the way around the world. I've done 4,000 miles around Europe, seen several racetracks, and yeah, it makes me the centre of attention when I'm driving it, which isn't a bad thing. So.
But it does. Now, I know you've just come back from the Nürburgring. How was that?
Good fun, yes. Nice and sensible, plenty of excitement, lots and lots of Porsches there, which made me stand out a little bit. So yeah, it was good fun, and yeah, you've got to make use of them, haven't you?
You have to. Now, slightly different front end. The lights are, I'm going to say, unique. They're certainly different from what I expect from a Griff 500.
Yes, they're Tuscan lights. An idea I got when I went 10 years ago. I may not have just said hello to the Anko at the Nürburgring in the rain. So yeah, it needed doing at the time. So I preferred the look of it and just went with it.
You've also gone bigger on the engine, haven't you?
Yes, that was bad luck. It decided to not play ball, and so basically TVR Powers basically said, "Would you like a larger engine?" And of course, 5-year-old me said, "Of course." So it's now 5.2, and it's quicker than anyone ever needs. So it put a huge smile on your face.
Now, you use this car pretty much every weekend. You get the opportunity to come out and play. Good new event, this, isn't it?
It's absolutely fantastic. Perfect location, lovely spot, and thousands of people here. And it's one of the best car shows I've been to this year.
So, if there was just one thing about the car, having lived with it for 12 years, you'd change, what would that be?
Not an awful lot, really. Perhaps make the driver's window work, but apart from that, I'd stick with it. It's as practical and as much fun as anyone could ever want.
And it's probably, I mean, we were talking earlier, to get your chair in, I can't imagine an F-Type or an MX-5 being an option.
No, it's amazing actually. The cars these days are much bigger and less storage space. This fits in amazingly. It's the same shape as the boot, and it drops straight in, so I can fit in there and fit all my gear in and head off wherever I like. And it's probably got the most comfortable seats out of any car I've ever driven. So yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
Cheers, Ian. Thank you.
So from two wheels to four, back in the show ring, it's the 4x4s. Land Rover, Range Rover, starting with the most recent, most modern. This four-door Range Rover Vogue looks an incredibly comfortable place to be, to get over rough surfaces, gently customised and modified to the owner's personal taste. And then going back to the original Range Rover concept, it was a two-door gentrification, if you like, of the original Land Rover concept, thought up by Spencer King, Range Rover, or indeed Rover's chief engineer, always with four-wheel drive of course, and he thought that the basic utilitarian Land Rover could be made more appealing for shoots and large estates, and he was right. They went so well and such a huge sales success, but the original concept still remained. This is Series 2, the basic shape and style known to anyone who's met a Defender. The Forces had these, the Army, the Air Force, and even the Royal Navy bought these cars. They were, of course, Ben King's answer to give you a British version of the Jeep immediately post-war. Four-wheel drive station wagon tells you all you need to know.
So it hasn't just been about wonderful cars here today. We've also been joined by a selection of motorcycles, none of them a patch on this astonishing Vincent Black Shadow, the motorcycle that everyone wants. If you want a classic British bike, you dream of Vincent Black Shadow. John, tell us about your machine.
Yeah, it's a 1951 Series C Vincent Black Shadow. I've had it now for nearly 20 years. It's just had a full restoration done on it. Yeah, it's been a 2-year labour of love.
I bet it has. The amount of love you've lavished on it is demonstrable in the quality. Now,
Yeah.
you've had it for 20 years. Why, when you were a young man, did you decide a Black Shadow was the thing for you?
It's what my dad used to ride when he was a lad. And I've been brought up on all the stories from when my dad used to ride Vincent's. And I guess it's always been in my blood. But never thought I'd be lucky enough to own one.
No, they're not exactly a common machine to find, are they?
Not really, no. There's a few out there, but some want to pay a lot of money for them. And I dropped lucky at the right time when I got mine. Yeah, but I ended up with one.
What's it like to ride in modern traffic? Is it the mile eater that legend was tell us?
Oh, it certainly is, yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. Especially now, it just rides lovely and smooth.
It's got 150 mile/hour speed though. How close have you been on closed roads or an airfield, obviously?
70 mile an hour.
It's a very fair answer.
That's a legal answer.
And do you get out on it much?
Yeah, I used to ride it regular before it got put back together. As I say, it's just had a restoration job done on it. But I used to ride it fairly regular before that.
So did that keep you going throughout the restoration, thinking about next time you're going to get out and riding?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for 2 years, I've just wanted this day to come and get back out in it again.
So is this the first proper ride out since you finished?
Yeah. And it started at first kick this morning.
Wonderful. And what do you think of the event?
Oh, it's been a great day, a really good turnout, lots of different things. Yeah, just a shame a few more bikes didn't turn up, but been some lovely cars here today, some lovely vehicles all together.
Hopefully we'll see more bikes and more cars next year.
I think it'll only grow.
Let's hope for the same weather as well, eh?
Well, maybe not quite so warm, but yeah, it's been nice. It's what we want on days like this. We want a good sunny day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, John.
Yeah,
Thank
it's been
you.
lovely. You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, it's not all just classic cars here at the show. MX-5, highly modified, Land's End to John O'Groats. We'll be hearing about that later on in the show. CRRS Cosworth, this is the Sapphire version, 4 doors as a saloon with a boot, very original interior to this one. Handsome car, interesting gold wheels to the owner's personal taste. That legendary double overhead camshaft 16 valve turbocharged engine, of course, what gave the Cosworth its kick. A little more funky, the Ford Focus. Engine again highly customised, little coiled Cobra hissing snake there, a nod to Ford's heritage with Carroll Shelby etc, the AC Cobra. And look at that leather skin interior, all done by the owner himself, including those rather fantastic speaker grills. Ford Fiesta Mark 1, again tastefully and subtly upgraded to the pull ball gear lever knob, a more sporting steering wheel, but look at the engine bay. You could genuinely eat your dinner off that. K&N air filter to give it that extra go, and the lovely period Ford badge proudly displayed on the front. But you didn't have to be a Ford, British, German, French, Japanese, or build it yourself. It's all been welcomed here with open arms at Wentworth Woodhouse show. Whether it's an Autobahn burner or a trailer queen, everyone was welcome and seen in the ring.
Hard to ignore on this side of the rally field, this fantastic display of MX-5s. They have a wonderful story to tell. You can tell from Sandy's t-shirt. Tell us what's been going on in May.
Oh, it was an amazing time. We drove our MX-5s. We had a convoy of 10, and we drove from Land's End to John O'Groats to raise money for cancer research.
On the car side of things, was it smooth and everyone just turned on and got to the end, no problems?
I'd like to say yes, but it's a no. So most of the guys, we had 10 cars in total. 9 of the 10 worked absolutely fine, not a problem. Unfortunately, mine didn't. So I had a problem with my fan belt, which broke at one point, which stopped the water pump. So I had to sit by the side of the road and get recovered. But we got it up and running, and we got all the way there.
Fantastic. Now, David, this is an MX-5 club, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I've been a member now for 2002 when I became a member. Due to I was going to have another motorbike, and it just as a friend of mine phoned me up and said, "Oh, come and see what I've got." So and it was an MX, and I thought I'd won 2 weeks later. So I've been a member, and I've took over the coordinator's job, which was 10 years ago, and travel all over Europe. And as I say, with Sandy, came up with this idea of doing the Stand Up for Cancer, which was planning 3 years ago. But because of COVID, it's pushed everything all out, and we've managed to, has done as best we got it done this year.
Fantastic stuff. And Sandy, why is it an MX-5 for you?
Oh, well, a few years back, the wife, I think she started a midlife crisis, and she went out, she bought her first MX-5, and I kept seeing how much fun she was having with hers, and I thought, that's it, my midlife crisis started, I'm buying one, but I went on steroids, I went for something really loud.
Fantastic, guys. So you can find out online, they can Google what you've been doing, MX-5, Land's End, John O'Groats, do contribute. They're trying to raise 20 grand before Christmas.
Absolutely.
Seen some fantastic cars and met some amazing people in the first half of the show. Do join us after the break when I'll be telling you more about this amazing venue we're at, and also meeting some fabulous people and their cars. So if you're curious about that building over my shoulder, it's 19th century, it's a folly. Find out more after the break.
When it comes to car care and car paint protection, Superguard has been #1 in the UK for over 30 years. With a huge array of interior and exterior products, here at Superguard we're guaranteed to have you covered, cleaned and protected. For everything you will ever need to keep your car show shiny, come and see us at www.superguardshop.co.uk.
Welcome back to Wentworth Woodhouse and the fantastic British Classic and Performance Car Show 2022. What an astonishing location for it. 15,000 acres of parkland with the architectural wonder that is Wentworth Woodhouse itself. The grounds are littered with all kinds of follies and buildings. There's a bear pit, a mausoleum, a memorial erected to a friend of the family who managed to avoid court-martial as an admiral in the early Victorian years. But we're not really here to talk about architecture, as impressive as it is. We're here to talk about automotive history. 1922, the centenary of the Austin 7, the motor for the million, the car that got Britain driving. Let's go and have a look at a 1934 example, and you won't find better. Andrew, your 1934 Austin 7 box saloon.
That's correct.
How long have you had it?
2 years.
2 years. What made you decide to go for an Austin 7?
I always wanted a pre-war car, and this one came up for sale in a village near where I live, so I bought it.
New to old cars, or was this just a move in a different direction?
I used to have a 1952 Ford Anglia before, but I always wanted, as I say, pre-war. So,
do you use it for shows much? Get out to many?
mostly shows, yes, local shows. Don't go much further than 20 miles. It's far enough, really.
And what are the challenges driving a pre-war car on the roads today?
Brakes. You've got to think ahead when you're braking, so they're not the best of cars really for people that are not used to driving that type of thing.
So, Alfie, your name for him, or did he come as Alfie?
My grandson, so named after him.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Okay.
I bought it back in 2007. I'm just looking through classic cars, just for something interesting to buy. I'm looking for a new car to use on a Sunday, just for shows and different things. And I came across this Olympic. I went to have a look at it. It's a 1972 Rochdale Olympic. Its former owner sadly died, and his son had come back to clear his estate out. And it was found in the back of the garage. When I found it, it had not been registered, so I had to go with the DVLA and the Rochdale Club to try and get it registered. That took me over 2 years.
Now these came with a lot of engine options. Which one has yours got under the hood?
It's got a 1500 Worsley, yeah.
So the Rochdale, as the name indicates, they were made in Rochdale, and the Olympic was the ultimate of their range. They even raced them, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They did, yeah. Did hill climb and they raced them. Yeah, they were quite successful at the time. I think they did in the day when they had the Ford engines in. They do 0 to 60 in about 11.2 seconds, which were quite nippy in the time.
A small British sports car, that was respectable.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
very respectable. Yeah.
Is it a nice thing to drive? Do you enjoy getting out of it?
To be honest, I don't, because I haven't been out in it because it's only done 20 odd miles. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get to more shows. I'll enjoy it, get it insured, get it back on the road. I can use it a day I use it. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. So a confessed Capri addict here. My 1600 laser's gone to the big Capri scrapyard in the Sky. But if you wanted flash wheels in the 70s and 80s, this was where it's at. But if you were a little bit more adventurous, you might have thought across to Italy and had an Alfa Romeo. An Alfa Sud is just one car of the show. Let's go and talk to its owner and have a look at the car. Come over to the show ring to talk to Miles, whose amazing 1980 Alfa Sud has won car of the show. Congratulations, Miles.
Thank you very much. It's been a good day.
Has been a fabulous day. Now, I know you've had this a fair while, nearly 20 years.
Yeah, yep, 18 years, I hate to say now, yep, getting old.
So why an Alfa Sud? What made you get this particular?
Well, I think it's the thing that it's the old car thing for a lot of people, nostalgia really. When I was a little boy, I think I was 5 or 6, my dad bought a bright yellow Alfa Sud. You know, I just always remembered it. I just remember the rasping exhaust note. It's something that always stayed with me.
He kept it for 3 years, and by the first MOT, before the first MOT, it was rotten to hell. Normal story, had to get rid of it, but I always remembered it, and I always wanted to find another one really. Went looking for a good one, was lucky to find it on the south coast. It had been known by a pilot all its life. It only done 27,000 miles. I used it as my daily car for a year, which I enjoyed, and then I thought, I better start looking after this car really. So it's had a paint job 17 years ago now. That's all it's had really. It's just still a low mileage original car really. Just had a paint job and just use it for shows and pottering about on a sunny day really. Days like today.
So apart from routine maintenance, it just gets treated like a normal car.
It's a bit more fastidious than that. It lives in a carcoon, one of these air chambers, and it never goes out in the wet. But yeah, apart from that, routine maintenance, has a service every year. If it ever does need anything more, it gets it. But I've not had any trouble really with it. It's just it's been okay. It may continue.
Have you come far to the show today?
Just half an hour. Just about half an hour away.
So you're taking it 300 miles, no worries about doing that, fully confident?
No worries at all, never let me down. The only worries are motorways these days, are smart motorways. Have made a horrendous mess of this country's motorway network. So I don't like going anywhere on motorways these days, but nothing to do with the car, complete faith in the car, yeah. Sure, I'll be fine.
And I know it's going to be a biased answer as you've won car of the show, but
yeah.
Happy with this brand new event here today?
Well, yeah, honestly, it's just a fantastic bonus and genuinely not expected to win car of the show. But yeah, it's a great venue, isn't it? I mean, what's not to like? Loads of room, obviously lovely stately home, local to me, nice event. It's been really good. Obviously the weather's helped it as well, but plenty of room as well. I got here at 9 o'clock this morning thinking you might not let me in, but there's plenty of room and I needn't have worried really.
Thanks very much, Miles.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thanks ever so much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Only now at the end of the day have we had the chance to catch up with Steve Bishop, whose event this is. Everyone's been telling us in the interviews how much they've enjoyed their day, Steve, but as the man who's sorted it all out and is paying the bills, how's it been for you?
I think it's been a fantastic day. It's great to hear that people have enjoyed it. Certainly from the feedback that I've had has been the same. A huge array of exhibitors, which is great, and visitors in their thousands. Phenomenal. Absolutely, really, really pleased. First event here at this venue, so couldn't be more delighted.
Fabulous stuff, and I hope we're going to be coming back here next year with you.
I hope so, yeah.
Good news. Now, you say it's first event here, you do others. You're about halfway through your season?
It is halfway through the season so far. We've obviously got a full about 12 events plus a new annual awards at the end of the year, so all the details are on the website, and of course follow on the social media. It would be great to link up with all the enthusiasts around the country.
Without meaning to dig too deeply into it, how much does it really take to organise something like this? Your first year, when did you buy into this show?
This has been a few years in the waiting, but it takes, although it's in effect 14 days of work being here at the shows, it's a full-time job for at least myself, and then I've got a fantastic team that help come together and put this all on for the day, coming over a weekend through a few days. It's a full-time job, definitely, for a couple of people at least, and that will be growing as we grow the series, and more shows, more venues in the years to come.
So are you allowing yourself a day off before you get back into the next one, or is it rolling over?
Well, I hope so. It's my birthday next week, so I might get that day off.
Fantastic. Appreciate the show, Steve. Thanks for inviting us along. It's been absolute cracker.
Great to have you. Thanks very much.
Cheers. It's the end of the show here at Wentworth Woodhouse, but what a fantastic day we've had. Some amazing cars, fascinating people, at such an historic venue as well. Thanks to everybody who's let me talk to them about their cars. Thanks to everyone for watching. We hope we'll be back next year We'll hope you'll join us as well. Take care now. Bye bye.